Welcome back. We are still talking about self-care and stress management, guys. Specifically, support, prayer, and journaling in this module. I want you guys to understand something very important. We all get stressed, okay? This is life, it happens. But you were not built to carry that stress alone. You weren't. So, in the last video from Module 8, Part 1, we talked about the tools that you can use on your own to manage stress. This module is going to be about what holds you up outside of yourself. How can you manage stress outside of yourself? And I like to say people, faith, paper. Okay. The people around you help hold you up. Your faith, if you believe, helps hold you up. And the practice of getting it out of your head and onto paper. That's something that tremendously helps me. But people, faith, paper. And what independence means, because this entire time we've been talking about building a strong foundation for employment and independence. Independence doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means having a life that stands, and support is a part of what makes it stand. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about support. Why is it even important to have a support system? Why can't you just do it all on your own? Okay, we were made for each other. Everyone needs people. That's not a weakness. That is how we were made. It's how we were created. Carrying it alone really does cost more because it's heavier, it's lonelier than it has to be, you're slower. Like, it really does cost. Support lifts everything. Okay, it not only helps you survive hard things, but it makes the good things better too. So let's think about who's already in your corner that can be helpful or supportive to you. Think about family, okay? Think about your family members who show up. Can you count on them? Are they in your corner? What about your friends and your coworkers, a church member, a neighbor, people closer than you think? Okay, more than you realize is probably like maybe 9 times out of 10, you have more support than you realize. Okay. Because sometimes we forget to count people, but even one or two solid people is a real support system that counts. You're going to need different people for different needs. Okay. You have to have the listener, which is someone who listens without fixing it. Maybe that's your vent buddy. I have one of those at work, and I just and then we're done. They just listen to you. Sometimes a counselor is great for this too, or a therapist. As long as your therapist doesn't need a therapist, like mine. Just kidding. The truth teller, the one who tells you the truth when you need it. The practical one, the one who shows up with a ride or watches your kids, or just someone who's super, super helpful to you. And then the spread the weight. You don't need one person to be everything. Okay? Spread the weight. Think about giving a little bit to this person and a little bit to that person. Even if you only have two people, you can give a little bit to this person and a little bit to that person. Okay, even if you only have one person, that's okay too. You don't need a ton of people. You just need people that are there for you, that love you and support you, and they're already in your corner. They're going to show up and you can depend on them. That's what you need. Some of us struggle to ask for help. Hi, hello, that's me. I really, really don't like asking for help. The simple truth is, though, most people are willing to help. They just might not know that you need help until you ask for it. When you ask for help, that is not you being a burden, despite how it may feel. It's how relationships actually work. They're a little give and take. So you have to be specific. Can you watch the kids Thursday at 5? Is so much simpler than saying, I need help, or can you help me? Like, you need to be specific. What specifically do you need help with? Asking for help is really hard, but so is letting people in. So is admitting the struggle. I think that's the hardest part sometimes, is admitting that you are struggling. But I want you to understand that you are worth helping. You don't have to have it all together all the time to be worth helping. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all need a little bit of help. And honesty opens those doors to let people in. Being honest about a hard week gives other people permission to be honest too. And who knows, you might be going through something that your coworker is also going through. and you guys can lean on each other and help each other through it, and you have someone to relate to, and you know that you're not alone now. And you might have a small circle now, like 1 or 2 people, but your circle can grow wider. Okay? A church support group, a class, a volunteering thing, a neighbor, maybe you meet a new neighbor. You knew the one on the left, but you don't know the one that lives to your right. You can actually talk to these people. These are all great real starting points. Just showing up somewhere regularly is typically how new support gets built, slowly over time. So just think about different ways that you can build a support system if you don't have a support system, if you don't have 1 or 2 people now, you know? And you can always pray. Prayer can bring it all. Like you can bring it all. Lay everything on the table. Bring it honestly. Prayer is a place to bring what you are carrying honestly. Just say it out loud and tell the Father. There are no right words required. You don't need the right words. You don't need to say it perfectly. Just let it out. Being real matters so much more than sounding right. And prayer isn't just asking, it's also thinking about it, listening, and just being still with God. And knowing that even if you don't have those 1 or 2 people that are there to support you, you have no one, you always have God. And He is with you, and He loves you. Prayer is a wonderful place to put it all. It can remind you that you're not carrying this alone and that you're not in charge of everything. Prayer is a place to put fear, anger, grief, and gratitude. Just lay it all out. Let it go instead of holding on. Just holding on to it and holding it in. Many people find peace in it. And that doesn't depend on their circumstances changing. That doesn't depend on, how much they weigh, how much, like you can just give it to God. Let go and let God. And if faith is not a part of your life and you don't believe in God, a few quiet minutes of stillness or self-reflection can also steady you in a similar way. Not the same way, but it in a similar way. So just keep that in mind. And journaling is also a similar way to just get everything out of your head and let it go. It externalizes the noise. Writing everything down just kind of puts your mind at ease because it's outside of you now and you can let it go. It helps you see clearly what you actually feel, you know? It helps spot the patterns as well because you can look at your journal, what you wrote last Friday. What are you writing this Friday? Do you still feel the same way? Do you still was it something external? Are you just stressed or is it depression starting to get you? You have to really think about that and just be honest. Nobody has to read it. It doesn't have to be good handwriting. You can do your little chicken scratch if you're like me. It just has to be honest. And it's just a great way to get everything off of your heart, get everything out of your mind, and just kind of let it go. Because when you hold things in, you do typically begin to internalize, which can cause stress. And even autoimmune diseases, when you have so much stress, sometimes you start to get sick and your immune system is lowered and you can develop, autoimmune diseases, cancer, things like that. If you like the idea of journaling, but you're like, oh, I don't really know how to do that, I'm going to tell you really quickly how to start journaling. You're going to start small, let it go, and use a prompt. Okay. You can generate like a random prompt. You can pick something, my day at work or whatever it is. The goal is not a masterpiece. Okay. The goal is just to be honest on a page, get everything off of your chest, heart, and mind, and let it go. Just one simple step at a time. Here are some prompts to get you going in case you don't have any or you're like, oh, I don't know what to write about. Number 1, why am I crying right now? Number 2, what is one thing that went right today? Number 3, what am I thankful for? Number 4, what do I need and who could I ask? And lastly, number 5, what would I tell a friend in my situation? Love that one because it allows you to think about yourself outside of yourself. You're putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Like, hey, if this happened to a friend, what advice would I be giving them? I love that one. Also, number 4, what am I grateful for? What am I thankful for is fantastic as well, because gratitude changes what you see. One good thing shifts everything. On a hard day, naming even one good thing shifts what you notice. Not pretending. This isn't pretending that things are fine. It isn't refusing to only see what's wrong. It's just, one good thing. Because the smallness of the goodness, the small good things add up. And a few lines of gratitude a day is small, but it really does add up. You guys know I'm a teacher, and I I watched this professional development lady talk one time. She's passed since. Her name is Rita Pearson, though, and she talks about grading her students' papers. And there's this one little boy, and he just keeps getting them wrong, keeps getting them wrong. There's a test, and he misses all of them but 2. And she, instead of writing, there's 10 questions on the test, and instead of writing, that he sorry, I'm laughing because this is so something that I would do. But instead of writing, -7 with a frowny face, or -8 with a frowny face, or giving him an F or whatever, she put a smiley face and a +2. Or, and he's looking at her when she hands him his test, and he's like, Miss Pearson, is this a F? And she said, mm-hmm. And he's like, why'd you put a smiley face? And she said, because you got 2 right. They're not all wrong. You got 2 right. And hey, you get 2 more right next week, and you get 2 more right the next week, and 2 more right the next. And guess what? You are going to pass. Like, you're going to eventually pass. And then you're going to eventually make a B. And you're going to eventually make an A. Those small steps add up. So just keep taking those small steps, and you are going to get exactly where you want to be to build a strong foundation for employment and independence. But let's do our reflect and one step forward before we go. What you have people, you have practices, and you do not have to carry this alone at all, ever. Even if you feel alone, you can always pray. God is always there, and He loves you so dearly. This week's action: reach out to one person in your corner and write for 5 minutes using one prompt from above, okay? So you're going to have those prompts on your paper, or you can use the ones that we just talked about over here. The prompts were, what am I carrying right now? What is one thing that went right today? What am I thankful for? What do I need, and who could I ask? And then lastly, what would I tell a friend in my situation? All right. Remember, one step at a time, one honest conversation, one honest page at a time. Support is part of stability. Okay. Support is not a luxury. It's part of what makes a stable life stand.